Hello folks, just wanted to create a quick video to discuss a new little series that my brother and I are putting out. You may have seen it on my video channel. It's called The Day in the Life. Now, as you can see behind me, um, it is not necessarily a day in my life in any literal sense. Um, A Day in the Life centers around two characters, Henry and Tom, both children, brothers actually, but children of a very wealthy Watch Hill family, a fictional family. I mean, I grew up in Watch Hill, but the family is a fictitious family just to protect the innocent, and so no one gets offended. I couldn't choose any real Watch Hill names because they're not based off of anyone. They're based off of our crazy sense of humor. So to avoid insulting. Of course. Anyway, um, the idea behind it is the character Henry, who is the one I play, is someone who was living in Providence with his girlfriend, and he was dumped. Now that element is actually based off of the life of a friend of mine. He became homeless as a result, but my character isn't quite that extreme. Um, so my character, gets out of his apartment with only the bare essentials. And when I say the bare essentials, I mean the iMac I'm recording on, an iPhone, and an iPad. Bare essentials. Survival stuff. And he finds what is basically an abandoned attic, and starts living in there. Now, due to a mix of, perhaps a little bit of pre-existing craziness and, maybe a little bit of emotional trauma and perhaps the lead paint in his environment, it's making him a bit crazy. Now, if you actually will watch the video, the first episode that I posted here, you'll see that my character is a bit out of his mind. Um, and we try to make that fairly clear, but by my brother playing character Tom is talking about, there's lead paint in the ceiling, and and here I am, playing this character who's drinking, leak water from the ceiling, thinking that it's been filtered by the various stages of the ceiling, when in fact it actually gets more and more toxic as it comes down. Um, and the mental effects of that are, of course, obvious. Um, the way we do the way we do the show is almost entirely unscripted. Now, when I say that, I mean that we have a vague idea of how the show is going to go, starting it, and then we place a bunch of props around. Like there's a little chamber pot scene because there's no plumbing in this attic, so he's using a pot which we filled with an apple cider and like a bunch of chips from the ground, and so when it's splattered, it looks like this disgusting mixture of all kinds of human waste. But what we do is we just place those props around, and then we have fun with it, really. We just see where it takes us. Because my brother and I have had a history of argument, and that's normal for really any sibling relationship I've found. Um, it allows us to really work off of each other very well, and say all kinds of crazy things. Now, my brother's more or less playing himself, so it's a very easy role for him. I'm playing kind of like a hyperbolic version of myself, someone who is like completely over the top. Like, I'll admit, I'm a crazy person. But when you have wealth, you're eccentric, and I've been able to hide behind that little loophole for most of my life now. But I'm not crazy to the point where Henry is crazy. I mean, this guy is suffering from lead poisoning. I mean, he's a spastic maniac. Um, that said, we added kind of a fun dynamic to it in that Henry still has all of his net worth. He's just living in this apartment for, he wants to just get away from everything. He really just doesn't want to deal with all the crap in society right now. So he's living in this abandoned, for lack of a better word, abandoned shithole, and is enjoying it, but who knows how much of that is just madness and how much of it is actual genuine enjoyment. So we're going to involve a few of our friends in on it, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun with that. Hopefully they're as quick on their feet as far as comebacks and jabs and all that goes with the dialogue, because we really like to not use any real defined script. I mean, there will be jokes in particular that the subject is planned out ahead of time, but the actual specific dialogue is all improv. So hopefully that works very well. Now, if you'd like to see the show, it's available on my webpage. And when I say webpage, I mean my channel. It's not available on my other web pages. But hopefully you find it amusing. If you do, please leave a comment, because comments are one of the only ways that I can get any sort of feedback from you people. All of my friends have found it rather amusing, and they seem to think that I'm very similar to Henry. I don't see it, but then again, I am creating this character out of thin air, so maybe it's coming from somewhere. So we're gonna hopefully have a lot of fun with this in the future. Me living in Providence and my brother still in Watch Hill, it's a little bit difficult to coordinate, especially when we have to be in the same room to be filming things. We don't yet have a cameraman, so all of our shots are done from a stationary tripod, which limits the quality of the production, as well as the fact that it's filmed on an iPhone. And the reason for that is because the iPhone seems to have better film quality than this Nikon. Whether or not that's the fact that it's just a superior system, or the fact that I've dropped this dozens of times and there seems to be some sort of sauce on the screen right here. I don't think the sauce on the screen would affect the camera quality too much, but it is what it is. So we'll be putting out probably a new episode either this weekend or perhaps next, and hopefully you're all looking forward to that. Or if you haven't seen the video yet, give it a look. See if you find it as amusing as we do. The first video we really went with the real kind of like immature, gross humor, but there is a place for that. I mean, it's just fun, and then of course at times it's just plain disgusting. I mean, I drink plant water and then spit it on Harrison playing Tom, and the original idea there. When I was talking about the roof water, I was gonna say I was gonna actually try to drink this stuff, because it was we use it as like an improvised vase down in my apartment to have some flowers in, so it tasted really weird. So I was actually gonna just down it and see if I could handle it, but I could not. So I spit it, and it landed on Harrison. So we worked with that, and then as we're walking out of the kitchen, he asked, why I spat on him, and I said, because he insulted me, and he made fun of my water, just little things like that. It makes it fun. I have to get back down to Watch Hill because I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I also got a longboard. Very excited about that. I'm gonna do all my own deck art because I'm a graphic designer. It seems like something I could do. One of the reasons I don't really buy too many of the big brand longboards, skateboards, whatever. I don't like the fact that they have their own art on them. I want mine because I want it to be really a representation of myself, or at least in one way or another, my interests or personality. I really want people to not think of me when they see it, but like they'll see that and be like, that's his board. Originally, I was going to have a stencil of my face on the board because I lost my first longboard to some unfortunate circumstances. I lent it to a friend who was having some unfortunate times in his life, and he claims that it was stolen from him. Whether or not that's the case, I don't know, but I'm just gonna believe him for my own sake. Um, so I was going to have a stencil of my face, and if I were to ever see the board and it was stolen, and they would say, "No, no, this is my board," I'd be like, "Really? Why does it have my face on it? That is my face." I'll go into court. Your Honor, look at this board. Okay, that's my face on the board. See, this is here, and it's over there. Do you really believe that my face is on someone else's board? Let's think about this, folks. My face ended up just being, it didn't work well in with the design of the board that I came up with, so I ended up putting in some unique attributes that other boards didn't have. And it's also going to be heavily customized, so hopefully that will do it. Anyway, I have to go. Otherwise I'll miss the Johnson Wales bus and I will cry. Literally cry. I won't, though. I'll just run down to the other bus stop, but I don't want that to happen, so see you later, folks.